The Central Bobcats are up big. That's right. It's our halftime show. It's Cover 1 presented by All-American Autoplex, Angelo Bolts, the Team and Investment, Edward Jones, and Double Dave's Pizza. Well, this is brought to you by those guys. This is the Cover 1 halftime show. Got to get to my man here, though. James, it's been a good night. What are you thinking so far?
Yeah, I think it's been a great night. We got some exciting games, some surprising games, too. Let's get into it.
All right, well, we're going to get started first with the Central Bobcats. Right now they are up big, and here is just some of their highlights. Let's get into it.
All right, Tyler Hill's going to throw this one out to Jacob English for a first down. Quick little first down, move the chains.
This is on the first drive of the game here. Important to get on the board first, and that's what they do right here. Run to the left by Tyler Hill after the fake and the handoff. Touchdown, 7-0 right here.
Here you go, Jalen Jones taking the snap. Kind of RPO, going to hit Ivan carry on. That's correct? I believe that's correct. 51-yard touchdown.
Broke that one open, James,
yep.
all the way to the end zone. But San Angelo Central is here ready to play. Same thing they just got scored on. They pretty much ran the same thing. RPO with just a little slash up the front right there. Touchdown. This will make it 14-6. Midland would go score that next drive 14-13, and this would be San Angelo Central's drive right after that.
This kind of shows just kind of the grit in the run game. You know, our coverage there is kind of high on that. Here he goes, Javion Robinson for a good run.
He's been running hard tonight, James, and we'll see some more of that here in a little bit. Right here, Tyler Hill on a little jet sweep with it's like a fake jet sweep. I don't know, send him out and then hit him out on a wheel route right there. But the Midland, the Odessa High offense would not stop. Handoff right there. That would make it 21-20. This game looked a lot tighter than what the halftime score was because right here, Central started to put him on him. This is that run I was talking about, James.
Here we go. I believe it's Javion Robinson just shredding guys down the field. In for the touchdown.
That's from 40, right?
I think that's like a 40-yard touchdown. Yeah, that was a...
Here we go.
Here you go. Central's defense.
Beating them, but he gets the dump out. What a great open field tackle right there.
Good stick
helmet
right
on
there.
helmet. Let's go.
Good stick. And another touchdown pass for Tyler Hill to Kevon Rice.
Here's another one. I mean, they're just eating them up. That's the same play right there.
Yep, I might have put that one in there twice. My bad.
No, that's fine. Get a replay on that sucker. That's what I like to see.
All right.
And the Central Bobcats right now, James, what is the score to that one?
It is 36-20.
Big
Central's
game.
up. Yep.
Yeah, big game so far from the Cats. Their offense has been playing good, and their defense, like we saw, has been making plays when it mattered. 36, what did you say, 31?
36-20.
36-20, yeah. So, 2-3 score ball game at this point. James, are you seeing this Odessa Broncos even coming close to coming back in this one, or you think that Central has this one just pretty much wrapped up in the bag?
Hey, man, you never want to say anything's wrapped up because we saw them go back and forth. Yeah, I mean, Odessa was never ahead. They missed the 2-point conversion. So they're still in this, though. They're only down a couple scores. They can always fight back out of this. So Central needs to keep playing good defense, keep the ball moving on offense, go get a win, and calm. Calm down.
They definitely have the chance to do that, James. Here is Ryan Chadwick now with his take from the first half action.
Into the Bobcats versus Odessa Broncos. Ryan Chadwick here. This is Joe Hyde behind the camera. What we're seeing out there, Ryan, it looks like we got a good ground game that's setting up a lot of passing.
Oh, yeah. So the Bobcats are completely controlling the flow of the game on the ground. Tyler Hill himself has 100 yards rushing in the first half. And then the three running backs, Tyree Brawley, Aiden Barone, and Javion Robinson, are all combined for over 100 yards as well. Now, with the success that they're having in the ground game, it's allowing Hill to set up some play action, and receivers are coming wide open. Jacob English already has a deep touchdown. Kevon Rice has 5 or 6 catches for over 60 yards and an additional touchdown. So Hill's got over 100 yards passing as well.
All right, so also is happening on our defensive side. The Broncos are not laying down. They can move the ball.
Oh, yeah, they run the spread very effectively. They got a really talented wide receiver on the outside. He's already scored 2 touchdowns tonight. One of them, unfortunately, our corner, I'm pretty sure, is Luke Gould. He tripped and fell, so that one was kind of a fluke play. But other than that, like, the Broncos are just slinging the ball around the field, and they're hard to stop.
All right, looks like we're going to get the central band on, so we better get on. We'll see you back at the end of the game. This is Ryan Chadwick, Joe Hyde behind the camera. Thank y'all for watching Cover 1.
All right, thanks, Joe.
And thank you, Ryan Chadwick, for always the good take. That's exactly what's been going on tonight. You know, the Odessa Bronco offense has been able to move the ball, but the defense has been terrible. They have not been able to stop the Central Bobcats. On the other hand, the Bobcats are running this game away. It's not only on the throwing the ball, but, man, they've had some huge runs in this game to get them that 36-20 lead. James, just kind of give me in a nutshell, you know, what has been the most exciting thing that you've seen so far from this Central offense?
Just the run to set up the pass, you know, that's always necessary when you're trying to have success. So them running the ball, they said they have over 200 yards already. Tyler Hill has over 100 yards, and they have over 100 yards combined with the running backs. So you got 200 yards there. Keep running the ball. Keep setting up that pass. Keep that methodical type approach. For Odessa, they don't have those big splash plays on defense. We kind of thought that might be a weakness coming in. Now, they do have that good receiver out there who's got almost all their yards. Keep him in check, keep playing good defense, and just relax. Smart watches don't need to be going off tonight at San Angelo Stadium.
That's right. You know, it needs to stay calm, cool, and collected. I'm in with that. All right, James, moving on to some other games, but before we do, let's go ahead and get into some scores. Actually, let's talk about right here. It is... You got to check this truck out, James. This is a bad boy right here. This is Ram Truck Power Days, the 2022 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab 4x4 with 2.9% APR financing for 72 months. Plus, Texas residents get $1,500 State Fair of Texas bonus cash allowance, $1,000 cash allowance when financed through Chrysler Capital. But you better hurry. This offer is spooky. It's a ghost. It may go away, especially because... on Halloween night, it's over. That's right, hurry, because this offer ends on October 31st. You can go see the guys at the Autoplex at 4310 Sherwood Way. That's Sherwood Way at Southwest intersection right there. Or give them a call, 325-284-3032. All right, James, moving on, but going to go to scores first, so that way we can get everyone caught up on the action today. So, first, we got Erie County and Eden, 78-0. This one's final at halftime. Erie County moves on and stays undefeated. Wink and Ira Ann, 42-14. Wink up big. Odessa Permian and Midland Legacy. This is a game that we'll have highlights for at our post-game show. And, man, has it been a good one so far. 18-19, Odessa Permian is up. Holy Cross and Paint Rock, 39-22, Holy Cross. Lubbock Estacado and Andrews are tied at 12 right now. This is Lakeview's district, and this one right here may be for the district championship, so be on the lookout for that one. San Angelo TLCA 21-0 against the Grape Creek Eagles. Cristoval 13, Ozona 2. We will have highlights for that right after this.
All right, you got Roscoe over Abilene TLCA 58-6. You got Albany over shutting out Cross Plains right now 49-0. Wall over Ballinger, 29-0.
Yeah, Ballinger, they're still looking for their first win of the season, so right now it doesn't look good for them. They may move to 0-7.
All right, Miles over Hamlin, 21-0. Forsan over Anthony, 24-0. Forsan had to go out to Anthony for this week.
Yeah, that's a far drive even for those guys out there in the basin.
Oh, yeah. McCamey over Water Valley, 40-0. Early over Brady, 27-15. Johnson City over Mason, 10-7.
That's a third quarter score. Robert Lee, very best. This is a halftime 32-8. Robert Lee is up in that one. Midland and Friendship. We saw Friendship last week knock off Midland Legacy. However, tonight, halftime score, Midland High is up 28-21. Reagan County and Sonora 17-13. Reagan County is up, but Sonora can't come back from about what was it, James? Do you remember that one?
It was 17-0 at one point, or 17-7 at one point.
Yeah,
or something
17-7. Like yeah, it was a big score early for Reagan County there. Harper and Junction 15-7 Junction. Evatt and Oldsby they ran that one last night 7-2-16 Oldsby in that one. And this is also last night's game here. Lakeview and Brownwood. Brownwood, what was it?
Just trounced them, shredded them.
They shredded them. That's right. The Brownfield Lions shredded the Lakeview Chiefs 60-13.
We'll have more on that game later on in the show. Go back.
And this is the last score we got right here. San Angelo Central Odessa. We told you this one 36-20. San Angelo Central is winning in that one. James, talk to me about the scores. What are you thinking so far? Who's surprised you? Who's let you down?
So far, Some of the scores that are outside of our area here, you got Breckenridge losing to Vernon. Breckenridge is ranked like 4th in 3A ball, so they're losing to Vernon. Vernon beat Lakeview earlier in the year, so that might be a team to watch there. Hawley is beating up Winners 48-0. Clyde and Jim Ned are tied up. The game that really stuck out to me was the Reagan County Sonora game. That's Cristoval's district, and I'd like to kind of find out more about what happened there. I'd like to. That might be an interesting story.
We were talking about it a little bit in the pregame, James. We thought Sonora's a really good football team. They should be able to run through this team, but right now it looks like Reagan County's up in this one. If you're the Broncos, you're going into halftime. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking you're still in this game. You might have had some craziness happen at the beginning of the game. Hey, but that's out of the way. Put it behind you. Have goldfish mentality. Move on and keep playing your game. We'll talk to Blake Weston this week coming up. We'll kind of find out what happened.
All right, I'm in. You heard the promise right here, folks. All right, moving to our next game, James. We're going to go to your alma mater.
All right,
we're going to go to the Cristoval Cougars. And with that, here is Ernesto Rodriguez.
Good evening, everyone. This is Ernesto Rodriguez for San Angelo Live and COVER1. We are about to get ready for tonight's kickoff between the Cristoval Cougars and, of course, the Ozona Lions, as we are back in Cristoval here at Jack Party Stadium looking for a great game. Both teams have a similar record. One is 3-3 and they're at 500, which is going to be Cristoval Cougars. And of course, the Ozona Lions are 2-4, trying to stay alive here, as this is a district game. And the fans are here from Ozona. Cristoval fans are coming in. Band's getting ready. Everybody's getting excited. We should see a great matchup tonight here in Cristoval under the Friday night lights. And 3 for the Cougars. And their side of the field, hands it off. To the left, he's got room. He's not been touched. If he was touched, here he goes. He's taking it to the house for a Cougar touchdown for the Cougars. Low snap, takes it, runs with it, and he breaks the plane for a touchdown here in Cristoval. Up 13-10 here. Lions trying to convert. Drops back to throw. And it looks like it's intercepted by Cristoval. It is halftime, everyone, here in Cristoval. Currently, the Ozona Marching Band is on the field with their halftime performance. The score is 13-0, Cristoval on top at home. We've got a good turnout here on the visitor section as the fans traveled really well. Would probably like the score to be a little different, but as it is right now, it is halftime. And so far, it has been all Cristoval. There have been some 4th down conversions by the Lions, but they just have not been able to get it in the end zone. They did have a 1st and goal early in the first quarter, but it was not, they were not able to make it. They got stopped, and then at the end of the second half, they did go for it again on 4th down, and they were at the 12-yard line of Cristoval and did not punch it in, or were not able to get it in at all. So here we are, 13-0 at the half, and Ozona go inside and make their adjustments. I'm sure Cristoval will as well. So we'll see what happens if anything comes close to this, or if it stays the same.
And that's Ernesto Rodriguez. Thank you, Ernesto. He's down there in Cristoval watching this game, so you know that he's giving you his realest and freshest take that he can give you. James, your alma mater is Cristoval, and tonight they were up 13-0. I know that probably makes you excited, but what are you thinking about this game so far?
Well, hey, Ozona's still in this game. They played a really good game against Miles a couple weeks ago, so Cristoval needs to continue to put it on them. They need to keep relying on the offensive line. I don't know if you saw in that highlight, that first highlight where Manuel Riojas got around the edge and cut up field for the touchdown. He just followed his offensive line, and they went. They're all seniors up front. They're big, they're powerful, they're strong, they're mean. Keep relying on your offensive line, keep pounding that ball away, and keep putting Ozona further in the hole. Keep him at bay, but don't forget this quarterback. He can. I know that pass was kind of weird that he slung, but he can throw it around.
It was a duck.
It was a duck. He can throw it around though. So just they're going to make adjustments, adjust accordingly, stay calm.
So are you feeling confident that they're probably going to take this game?
I think Cristoval's going to. I mean, I picked him. Of course, I think Cristoval's going to take the win. I mean,
there you go. Well, on top of that offensive line, you got to give credit to those backs. Those backs are not little guys. Whenever I first started covering sports down here, and I would see Cristoval, most of the time, it was like a small running back, small quarterback. Not very big guys, right? When you're talking about some of the big boys that play in other schools, but you know what? These running backs that they have this year, those 35 and 25, dude. I know you know that.
Catcher Joyner, Emmanuel Riojas.
Yeah,
Riojas 35, Joyner's 25.
Haas, dude. They're running over those kids from Ozona. They make them look like a 7th grade B team out there. So the Cristoval Cougars are definitely putting it on them. I might have messed up and picked the wrong team this week, but that at least it gave me some hope for the Cougars moving on. Later on in district and maybe even into the playoffs. So it looked good.
Their 2 losses this year, they came against a good team. Or 3 losses. They came against good teams.
I appreciate you giving the El Dorado.
I was thinking, the past couple weeks they came in on a 2-game losing streak into district.
Right.
They lost to Mason, who's a good team. They lost to Brady, who's a good team. They didn't lose to bad teams. They're playing good. And they're in a good district. This is a tough district. Sonora's in this district and Forsan. This is going to be a good. I'd like to see how this one plays out. So over the next couple weeks, when we get a playoff picture in place, it's going to be interesting where teams fall and.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, and guys, we'll have some more highlights of this, including the second half coverage on our 10 o'clock show, so you guys stay tuned for that one. And remember, guys, this is brought to you by All-American Chevrolet, and right now it is truck season. That's right. You can get this 2022 Chevy Silverado HD. Now during truck season, you can get $1,000 in accessory allowance towards the purchase of your new Silverado with eligible accessories. I mean, you're talking about maybe a nice radio in there, maybe some speakers, maybe lift the sucker up, whatever they can give you for $1,000, or you can get just $1,000 total cash allowance on the all-new 2022 Chevrolet Silverado 1500. But you got to see the dealers for the details, so go down there to All-American Chevrolet or visit them online. James, here we go. We are going to move on to our next game. This game was not tonight. However, it was last night. You were in attendance. So
I was personally at the game.
I'll let you go ahead and take this over.
We got Lakeview coming out of the tunnel here. What happened was Brownwood won. They deferred to the second half. They kicked off here. That's Junior Martinez kicking off. He handled all the kicking duty last night. Lots of touchbacks. First possession, Lakeview handed off. Back to Brownwood, who just runs it in. Conlon Anderson.
Touchdown,
I'm disappointed he didn't give me any love. He ran in the end zone a couple times, didn't point at the camera once. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. Here you go. This is a Ike Hall pass to Jason Jackson Jr. for like a 41-yard touchdown or 45-yard touchdown into the end zone. That makes it 14-0. This is all in the first quarter still. This is an Ike Hall run for a 1-yard score. Lakeview had a hard time getting out of their own way early in the game, and when you have a hard time getting out of the way early in the game, you get behind, and that's what happened.
And this right here led to the main big lead, right? This is 28-0 at this point.
This is still in the first quarter here. This is still first quarter. This was a fumble Lakeview had early in the game, and it's 28-0 right now, and they just fumbled it, and Brownwood took the ball back. So they're gonna drive and get down on the 1-yard line. This is beginning of the second quarter here. They're gonna run it in.
Whoa, did y'all watch it? That was a direct snap.
Direct snap, 1-yard touchdown, Conlon Anderson. That's his third touch of the game. Here comes it off the punt, bad snap. Manley takes a hit in the backfield.
I think that thing actually hit his
It did. It hit his up. It hit the up man. Here's they had good field position. They didn't do anything with it. They kicked the field goal though, 38-0. But here he is. Ricky Ramirez.
Let's go. That's what we like to see.
Yep. 60-yard run.
The Chiefs.
Somebody wants to do something. They start doing things right here. They start moving the ball well.
This is where they woke up and started playing like the Chiefs. How they have been all season. Look at this little nice RPO right here to a flat receiver right there into the end zone. Chiefs score.
They kicked the field goal.
38-7.
38-7. But here comes a 20-yard scamp around the side for Brownwood quarterback Ike Hall. In for the touchdown. Yeah, he had a very good game. Yeah, although they had trouble throwing it. Lakeview gave him a hard time throwing it, and Lakeview had success throwing it across the right side. Here comes a pass to, I think
another bomb,
Robles. Yeah.
baby.
I mean, I said earlier in the pregame show, it would be wrong to say Lakeview didn't do anything right. They did. They just played a really good team.
I'm in with that one. But here's a good play right
here.
But
no, it's a good play for Brownwood. They take a sack on 4th down. Here's another Conlon Anderson run for a touchdown. Look right at me. Doesn't see what I'm talking about? Nothing.
Hey, you know what? He did the right thing. If you see two people, you split them.
There's a block.
You make them miss.
There's a block. Lakeview did good things.
Lakeview blocked the field goal. That's awesome. That's what we like to see.
I think that was a 48-yard field goal attempt. There's Ian Cortez running.
Good run right
there.
Good run
down on the couple 2-yard line. But here you go. Bryce Medley's gonna get flushed out. He's gonna fumble the ball. Brownwood's gonna recover it. Just 2 steps forward, 1 step, 1 step back, or 2 steps back, 1 step forward type of deal. Just had trouble. But here's a good thing for Lakeview. The backup running back, they pulled Anderson, put his backup in who fumbled. He was doing push-ups on the sidelines, so he's upset with himself. Here's another good run by, I think it's Flores. So this is right towards the end of the game here.
What was the final score of this?
And here comes the last touchdown to Manley on the side.
I almost cut it off.
60 to 13. 60 to 13. Lakeview they just didn't put enough of it together early in the game. When you start and you have 35 down, you're down 35 at the beginning of the game, you have to stop worrying about the other team and then just start worrying about putting something positive on film just to have something positive go into next week when you dig yourself that big a hole.
I think they did that at the end. I think
they did.
After that 35, they I don't know, Brownwood may have lightened up a little bit, but the Chiefs settled down.
So some of their second players went in. Some of their second stringers went in. I talked to one of their coaches at halftime. Said, "Hey man, you're gonna make this second half interesting." He said, "We're gonna play our starters for about a series, and then we're gonna see how our second stringers do." And Lakeview did some right things there. It just you got to put it all together.
Sometimes though, you're just outmatched. I mean,
exactly.
We've all been in a football game. If you've played football before, you've lined up. If you've been outmatched, I mean, that's the beauty of it though, because those days is when you actually get tested and you find out if you're really about it. And it looks like the Chiefs got. I mean, sometimes they got their butts kicked a little bit, but at the same time, they were able to respond and show that they are more than just a team that can get their butts whooped. They can actually still give you trouble down the stretch.
Hey, man, we were 0-10 my senior year. We were awful. It just happens.
That's how it goes.
You go out and get outmatched sometimes, and it just happens. And Brownwood was a good team. A couple weeks ago, they were ranked 9th, and they played Stephenville, who's ranked 1st in 4A ball, or 4A Division 1 ball, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So no, it's not like they're a bad team. They're a really good team.
Yeah.
They're not gonna.
They just had a little bit of struggle on Thursday night, but that's okay. The Chiefs have a chance to bounce back next week. They what do they play here?
They play Big Spring. They play Big Spring.
Where are they at?
I think it's at Big Spring.
Well, I know one thing in that game is that Big Spring Lakeview game is always a game that Lakeview could win. I know they always have that circled on their district calendar. They've been in district with each other for the last 3 or 4 years. They know each other really well, so I'm very confident to say that honestly Lakeview will probably win next week.
Well, looking at it from here, they beat them last year. Lakeview beat them last year, 49-35.
2 years ago too, and I think the year before that it was very close. I think in between year, I think it was really close. So I mean that's definitely a winnable game from Lakeview. I know it's kind of an upsetting sight to see, getting beat like that, but I think there's time for them to bounce back, and I think the second half of that could maybe even help build them some momentum moving into next week.
But I mean, you look at this district though. You got Brownwood, you got Andrews, you got Big Spring. It's a tough district.
Andrews and Lubbock Estacado we're playing right now, and it's a close game there. So that's even going to be a hard team for anybody. Even Brownwood, that Lubbock Estacado team is for real.
So even looking at, you can get into the playoffs, so you can squeeze in that 4th spot, but you've got to put more. You got to start better. You can't go out there and start like you did against Brownwood and dig yourself a hole like that.
Yeah, no goose eggs. If you want to lay the goose eggs, you get to do those in January.
And hey, if you got to, I mean, I'm being real with you here. This is just, this is just being real. This is. This is just being real. I mean, isn't
I'm
it?
in. I'm
Isn't
in.
it? I mean, you got to be real. This is. I'm not going to coddle you or lie to you.
That's all we do here at San Angelo Live. We just hold a mirror to it all and just tell you how it is.
I love being blunt. You know, just be blunt with me. Be honest with me.
There you go. I'm in. Here, moving on. But before we do, I want to let you guys know that this show is brought to you by Angelo Bolt. Go see those guys at 808 Warehouse Drive. If you're like me, you know, your girlfriend's got you doing all kinds of stuff around the house. You got to fix this, do that. Well, Angelo Bolt is here for you, my friend. Angelo Bolt has everything you need, from nuts and bolts to even hardware. Pretty heavy-duty hardware, such as DeWalt and Milwaukee. So go see those guys today. They're at Angelo Bolt. They're at 808 Warehouse Drive. I think it may be Warehouse Road. I'm not sure, but it's one of the same.
Warehouse
James,
Road.
You're the driver. What do you think? Is it road or drive?
I think it's road. Warehouse Road.
That's what I thought. It sounds better. Anyways, go see the guys there at Angelo Bolt. All right, moving on one more time. We're going to go through some scores, and then we're going to call it good, and we're going to get everything ready for you guys for our post-game show. So we're going to run through it pretty quickly here. San Angelo TLC and Grape Creek at fourth quarter score 28-0. Albany Cross Plains 56-0. Albany, Brady and Early 27-15. Early's up. Midland and Friendship now tied in the third quarter at 28. Mason and Johnson City 15-10. Have fourth quarter score with Mason up in that one. Cristobal and Ozona 21-2. Looks like maybe Cristobal had a safety. All right, Wall Ballinger 36-0. Wall is up big in that one. Abilene TLCA and Roscoe 64, TLCA 12.
Holy Cross over Paint Rock 46-30. Robert Lee over Very Best 40-8. You got Miles over Hamlin 21-0 in the fourth quarter. In the third quarter, you've got Odessa Permian over Midland Legacy 18-16.
That's a ball game right there.
That's a good one right there. Lubbock Estacado over Andrews 19-14. McCamey over Water Valley 47-0. Junction over Harper 15-13. Wink over Ira Ann 49-14.
Erie and County, they're staying undefeated tonight. They went 78-0. That one's final. Fort San and Anthony 24-0. Fort San's up. Reagan County and Sonora halftime score 17-13. Reagan County. Evatt and Oldsby 72-16. Oldsby. Brownwood Lakeview score last night 60-13. Brownwood. Sterling City and Midland TLCA. Sterling City wins via forfeit. San Angelo Central Odessa 43-20. All right, James. Before we go, you got anything else you want to touch on?
Breckenridge has come back. It's 14-14 in that game now.
What's against who?
Vernon.
All right, Breckenridge and Vernon right there, 14 all?
14 across the board. It's the fourth quarter, so Breckenridge finally woke up.
Could see overtime.
Maybe.
I'm in. Well, guys, go ahead and check out all of the highlights and everything that we're going to have in our post-game show. We're also going to have coaches' interviews, including head coach Kevin Crane, so go ahead and see us. That's going to be at around 10 o'clock. I know right now it's about 9:04, but, as these games wrap up, we will be back on here. So,
it depends on how fast we can get Chadwick in here.
There we go. So, from James Bellini and Matt Trammell and all the cover